Hey YouTube, I got another knife review for you today. This is a Microtech. Yes, this is the Microtech Socom Elite. Alright, and Microtech they're a company with a very good reputation. Microtech Knives Incorporated. They make higher end knives. This is the second Microtech I have. And just to get you in the mood, here is the first Microtech knife I have. Microtech Crosshair Curahee knife, and you know, I just think it's a beautiful blade, so I take every opportunity to show it. But the thing about Microtech knives, they are not cheap, okay? It's pretty much, if you're a collector or if you have a very dangerous job, you know, work in security, military, etc., you know, those are the two groups that will probably want a Microtech. You know, definitely not just for like a casual user. Alright, let's take a closer look at this blade. Alright, here you see the Microtech Socom Elite dual thumb stud, terraced opening mechanism, and I think you heard that click. Here's a close-up of the blade. Now this blade is S35V. Alright, that's it's marketed as a slight upgrade from S30V, and it's the same steel that is being used in the newest Sebenzas from Chris Reeve. So that's a pretty highly sought after steel, at least among knife collectors. And it made in the USA. It lists the month of manufacture and the year. All right, this is it's actually the Cabela's catalog. You can see it's extremely thin paper. Let's see what the Microtech can do to the very, very thin paper. Alright, so yeah, extreme initial sharpness. Just cutting right through very thin paper. No problem. Alright, this is an aircraft and anodized aluminum handle with traction inserts. These are like skate tape, very grippy. Tube lanyard hole, glass breaker right there. Right, you see the construction there, those cutouts. Texturing here, texturing there. The opening, you heard that lockup. I mean, that's bank vault lockup. Absolutely no blade play. I mean, just rock solid. You see the texturing there on the liner. It is a liner lock mechanism. Right, and you see it comes set up right side tip down carry only. Right, and deployment with left hand is no problem either. I just love that click. I mean, that's how you know it's locked. You don't have to, you know, you don't have to worry when you hear that click. I mean, you know you can rely on the knife. And the weight on this is only 4.3 ounces. Alright, and for such a big knife, I mean, this is a 4-inch blade. That's a remarkable weight for such a large knife with strong construction. Let me give you a size comparison. Spyderco Military. Alright, hold on, let me back up this camera. Alright, here you see the size comparison between the Spyderco Military and the Microtech Socom Elite. You know, Spyderco Military 4-inch blade, known as a large knife, and you can see how much of a substantial knife the Socom is. When you see pictures online, it might look a lot smaller than it is, but in person, trust me, this is a lot of knife for very light weight. Alright, now the price tag on this, it was around $270, okay? As I said, Microtechs are not cheap, and you do get what you pay for, but as I said, I would only recommend this to either collectors or to people whose life, you know, people who have a very dangerous profession that might have to truly count on this. You know, it's not that expensive when you consider how much your firearm, you know, your optimized defensive arm or whatever you carry in your job You know, it's not that expensive compared to that, and this is probably meant as a backup to a firearm. It comes with this sheath, which so you can you know, you can attach it to an equipment belt, web gear, etc. It's a nice buckle, you know, nice buckle sheath, thick, durable. Now this does come in several different models. This is the tan. It also comes in green and black. And as you can see, the tan, it's a darker color. It's not desert, it's not bone, okay? It's almost gold. And the reason I chose this color is just because, as far as a collectible, I felt it stood out more as very attractive. Now, if you plan to use this on duty, you might want to go for the black colored one. They also have different options. They have stone-washed blades. This is the satin finish blade. And again, I chose that because as far as collector value, I wanted something that would really pop and stand out. Right, but a lot of people might prefer the more low-profile stonewash. This blade also comes in a Tanto tip model. This is the drop point model, and you know, the reason that I chose the drop point, I mean that's just an impressive blade right there. The reason I chose this tip design is because, you know, the Tanto, I associate it with thrusting techniques. But I felt that because this drop point is such a pointed drop point, I felt this would have no problem whatsoever with any thrusting techniques. So I didn't feel I needed the Tanto version. But you know, Tantos are very popular, and the sub tip does have other uses too. So if you like Tantos, you know, go for that one. But I like this one. I like the drop point quite a bit. I mean, that's just an impressive blade and tip design right there, and grind. I mean, it's a 4-inch blade. It's substantial, razor sharp with the S35V, and with that grind, you know, it can slash, it can tip slash, it can pressure cut, it can slice, it can do shearing cuts, and then, you know, in the ultimate extreme, you have that tip. You know, for the finishing move if necessary. So altogether, just an extremely impressive design. Alright, so overall, I'm very impressed with this blade. And if you're watching this, you're probably maybe trying to decide if this knife would be right for you. You know, obviously it's a pretty pricey production blade. And you know, I hope this has helped with your decision. I would definitely recommend this blade, and I'm nothing but impressed with the lockup, the incredibly solid feel, no play. The sharpness was literally razor sharp. The grind, all the geometry, you know, it's all perfect. The finish, I couldn't find any flaws. Comes out very easily. And that click is, you know, it's like a shotgun racking, you know, it tells you all you need to know as the operator. So definitely expensive, but it's worth it if you collect or are in that line of work. Beautiful blade. Hope you've enjoyed this knife review. Stay tuned for many more. I am out of here.